some of the newest members, or the most recent members of Tower Church. And we had recently moved to Gainesville because I had taken a position at UF, and we probably looked for a church for about 4 months. And the minute we walked in, we felt like we were home. The music was great, the Word of God was being preached, and we looked around though, and there were only a handful of people, and we said, where is everybody? But what that also told us is that God was up to something very real.
We've been away from the church for a long time. We were raised in the church in Fort Myers, drifted away as we came to Gainesville and lived life for 25 or so years. And we're attracted to the church because of the people involved.
We knew Chad, and we knew a few people within the church, and so we said, well, if we have to start, let's start there, because wherever we've been hasn't worked for us. It was kind of like in Andy Stanley's message of having the ladder and having the missing rungs. We were at that point where we felt like in some of the places where we tried that we didn't have all the ladder pieces.
I set about looking for a church, and I wanted someplace close to where I lived. And I looked at the Family Church and looked at Westside Church, and all these, they all just seemed too big for me. I didn't like it. I came from a smaller church. And one day I saw this Tower Church next to the library and said, well, why don't I give them a try and see what it's like.
Working with Amanda Fretwell, and through the course of your job you get to talking about stuff, and especially if you had a long day, you talk about what you're going to do after work or whatever, and we started talking about church. And she had mentioned some of the people that she had went to church with, which happened to be people that I knew from my church in a completely different town 5-6 years ago. And so that was the invitation. That's where the door opened. Kid, like 11 to 15, being active in church at that age. My church went through 2 splits within about 18 months of each other, and the last one was pretty much the cutoff for me and my family attending church. And so to see the opposite, instead of the division, the unification of two bodies, of 2 groups of believers, who maybe were on different tracks, and instead of fighting each other, instead of saying, no, we want this, no, we want that, no, instead of bickering over things that in the end really aren't that important, they come together and find their common ground.
It does say a lot for the people that have stuck with it, because I feel like everybody from both churches that have stayed with this group and have become a part of this group are really committed to following the Northport model and trying to do the best we can to provide the right kind of environments to attract unchurched people and keep them coming.
If change is the only constant, then we had an awful lot of constant over this past year. I think it challenged and stretched everybody in terms of their patience, but again, I think we had such an amazing group of people that this was the group of people that if anyone was going to be able to handle a lot of change and chaos, then, bring it on. We were sort of, we've seen everything else, so we can pretty much handle whatever comes our way, because we knew it was all for good and it was exciting change.
It was pretty exciting, because we had never been through that or even heard of a church merger, but because of the people, it just seemed like it was the plan that was supposed to unfold. The fit is so fantastic with the facility that it's been begging for something like this to happen to it and re-energize it and revitalize it.
The cool thing about this is, I think with this whole process of transition, it's impossible to point to one person who did everything, and I really don't see how any of this could have happened without God placing individuals in strategic roles and Him having plans for them and each person being obedient to that, because this is so far beyond any one person or any one church, and it's amazing to me what's going on, but God's the only explanation.
what gets me excited about the future of Anthem is actually when we went on drive, and I saw the three different campuses and the way things were set up. That's actually how I knew what I needed to do and where I needed to be. Walking into the Kid Stuff auditorium and theater, it was like a wave of emotion. It was like my breath got taken away. It was amazing. And for me, it's really become personal. It's really become something that I want to pursue. I
think the vision is that we're a local mission to the unchurched, and that's something that I've never been involved with. We've been in churches, the traditional churches that have been focused inwards, and to be in a church that focuses outwards is very exciting to see what we can do.
People in my age group, and you know, they're late teens, early 20s, even to late 20s, early 30s, really are searching for something that's real. I think that that's what people, especially people who have had church before and who maybe have been burned or have lost focus, they need that. They need that sense of, okay, there's no pressure. I can just be me, and that's okay.
I want them to come into a warm environment that says, hello, we're here, we're ready to share and to help you if we can. We want you to experience what we're experiencing.
Come in, see what it's like, wear what you want, bring what you want with you, and come and enjoy the presence of God. No strings attached.
If people are looking, if unchurched people are coming to us, if we don't have the answers, I hope we know how to point them in the right direction. And I can't wait to invite some of my friends, and I think others have said it too, but this is going to be an inviting place, and I'm glad that I have a place to bring them now.
When I thought about Gainesville as a ministry, and I'm going to be completely transparent here, as a person, I didn't want to be in the city of Gainesville. I grew up on the outside of Gainesville, although I was born in Gainesville, went to school in Gainesville, graduated from the University of Florida in 1996, and you know, this is a part of who I am. I didn't want to be in the city. Like most people that grow up here, they are, you know, kind of out of touch with the college scene. They want to get away from the college scene. But you know, as God began to call not just me back to minister into this community, and not just the people that are part of our leadership team back to this community, we realized that Gainesville is the hub really for North Central Florida. And because of that, it's not just about Gainesville. It's about Alachua County, it's about the surrounding counties. And when we look at the people, we realize that we've really got an incredible mission opportunity to share this message and to let people know we're here because, not because of who we are, but really because of who God is in this city. And we believe that when we say what God's put in our hearts to say about being authentic, then God will be God in the city of Gainesville.